Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuhu, dear ladies. Alhamdulillah, today we're going to be talking about a very important topic about marriage. Firstly, I hope you guys can all hear me clearly. I am outside today, I am in the public, so you might hear some sounds and noises or people walking behind, so please just ignore that for now. I thought I've got a thing in my head going on, and inshallah I'm going to just go and do it and stream live. So I'm using my laptop and phone simultaneously, so if you see me looking there, that is me just looking at my laptop. So today what I wanted to talk to you about was women who are chasing marriage. Now, the message that I wanted to give, and I wanted to really be brief about it, and inshallah I'll try and be as quick as I can and not take too long, is stop chasing marriage. Now, a lot of us women, we have the pressure to get married, and there's a lot of societal conditioning that leads us women and young females to believe that our worth and our self-worth is defined by our relationship status. Everything seems to be like we're ticking all the boxes. We're going to college, we're going to uni, we're getting a good job, we're getting ready, we're going out, we're socializing, we're looking good, all for what? Building up for what? For marriage. Now, there is the pressure, and I completely empathize with the Indo-Pak community who have a lot more pressure than other communities, that you know what, your worth is going to be defined by your relationship status, by the fact that you're going to be married. But actually what we need to do, and me really summarizing this point, is that seek self-fulfillment first. This is a really profound point. Seek self-fulfillment, because you have to find, it is really important that you find your internal happiness rather than relying on a partner or a husband or a wife to bring you joy and purpose. Because when you get married to them, you're going to drain them, you're going to be like a leech onto them, and they're going to feel that you're very clingy, very needy, and they're not going to like that. And even if they did, that's very short-lived. The honeymoon period only lasts a very short amount of time, and it's really important that you find who you are. You find the things that you enjoy, that internal happiness, the things that boost you, motivate you, propel you forward. And when you do that, that avoids desperation, and it avoids desperate behaviors. And it's so important that for you to understand that if you pursue relationships based out of desperation, it's going to lead to a completely unhealthy future, an unhealthy dynamic, and an unhealthy marriage for you later on. Now, we need to reflect on what's the reason that we want to get married, and what's the real motivation. We have to, of course, work on our personal growth first. If you're a woman who's got a really bad temper, you're extremely stubborn, it's my way or the highway, you don't know anything about your roles and responsibilities, and you're just seeking a man for companionship because you want to escape your home, or perhaps that your home environment or your family life is not good, so the only escape is through marriage. Actually, that's not going to help you at all, because you have to reflect on your desires. And of course, I acknowledge that it's a complete human need. Allah has created this instinct inside us that we have for marriage, but for marriage. So every single person, even we know that the animals are created in pairs, but you have to reflect on your desires, that why is it that you really want to get married. And you have to seek your personal growth before seeking out these partnerships. Our deen empowers women, it empowers us. It advocates for self-respect. It gives the mother a high station and a high standard. It doesn't mean that you settle for just any Tom, Dick or Harry because you've become desperate to find somebody. Now, whilst you do that, it's important to consider that boundaries are very important. And a lot of us, when we are naive, we make mistakes, and a big mistake that does happen is setting and maintaining personal boundaries when you have a potential partner. We know that we have the values and principles of our deen, and all them principles are there to protect us, to guide us, and to help us propel forward. They're not there to make our life hard. They're not there because Allah wants to make it difficult for us. There is divine wisdom in everything, and the whole way that we behave, we interact, how much, and that's why it's so dangerous for you that if you get emotionally invested into this long before, you're going to make an emotional decision, you're going to make a rash decision, and you're going to end up making a major mistake. So you have to be very wary of that and very careful of that. And it's really important for you to reclaim your strength first and prioritize your personal goals. What are your personal aspirations? What do you want to do? Who are you beyond and outside of marriage? It's not just all about marriage. And like I said, women are socialized to believe that their worth is linked to their relationship, and with this pressure, with the societal pressure, it leads to unhealthy behaviors, and people start to prioritize marriage over their personal happiness. And this means that people become, they can't separate their self-worth from them societal expectations, and they define their value, but they should be defining their value based on their personal beliefs, their achievements, and who they are as a person, and not just being attached to this title or to this name. It's really important. And how can we cure this? Well, self-love is essential. Fulfillment comes from within. It comes from within when we connect to Allah, when we know who we are, when we set boundaries, when we achieve our own worth, subhanallah, and not put it in the hand of anyone else to say that you're going to define my worth. Then you see where true fulfillment actually comes from. And that's why it's so important to cultivate self-love and understanding your own needs. What are your needs? Really sit down. Maybe you want to journal on it. Sit down and think, what are my own needs that I want fulfilled before seeking validation from others. And we're actually encouraged to engage in lots of self-care practices, because with them practices, what will happen is your self-esteem will be boosted and your emotional well-being will be at a really better state, and you can make better decisions therefore. And like I said, the dangers of desperation are that what will happen is you'll settle for less than what you deserve. You might settle for, it could be a wolf in sheep's clothing, and you won't know the difference. And that's why it's really important that this is actually also a cautionary message to women, because once you avoid compromising your values or your standards just to tick the box of the status of being in a relationship, you're not going to be happy. You're gonna settle for less, you're gonna be disappointed, you're gonna be hurt, and it may even end up in divorce. And of course that's not what we want. So it's really important for you to recognize that a fulfilling partnership stems from mutual respect. It comes from shared values. Reflecting on this is really important, and reflecting on the reasons why you want to be in a relationship. What is it? Why is marriage so desired for you? Is there any? And you have to be honest with yourself, and there's no wrong answer in this. We have to identify our unhealthy patterns or dependencies that may exist, and because once you identify them, you'll be self-aware, And once you're self-aware, you have the opportunity for personal growth. And once you start that journey, that is vital, and that is a massive step in the right direction for healthy relationships. Our deen empowers us. Yeah, Islam offers women so much, subhanallah. They get their worth from there as mothers. We know the hadith about the woman having paradise, linked to the mother having paradise under her feet, even though it's weak and so on. The fact is that Islam offers women to recognize their intrinsic worth and value in society. And the more we understand our deen and more we pursue the knowledge and the teachings of Islam, that can help us reclaim our power, that can make us resist societal pressures to so we don't conform to just traditional roles that don't serve in our well-being at all, or might even conflict with our deen. And setting boundaries is actually a recurring theme that I've seen with many of my clients in the past. Because once you have clear boundaries, it's essential. That's your foundation in establishing a healthy relationship. You must communicate your needs, know what they are, communicate them very, very, very clearly, and expectations to any potential husband or partner. And you need to ensure that you're not compromising your value for the sake of companionship, just for the sake that you've been speaking to this person for maybe 8-9 months or 2 years, or you've been going out with them, or you've got into a relationship that you really shouldn't have, and you're starting to compromise on everything because you've fallen for them. Okay, so you have to be very careful with this trap. And subhanallah, once we start taking charge of our own lives, and we focus on our personal goals, we have to really slow down, and aspirations, rather than waiting for somebody to give you fulfillment. This is gonna be a game changer for you, subhanallah. We have to envision our lives independently. Okay, forget that a husband even existed. First, know this: you have to have a life independently and pursue your passions, whatever they are, that nourish your soul. It could be something like memorizing the Quran, it could be an art project, it can be a passion project, it could be whatever it is, subhanallah, as long as it is within the boundaries of the deen. And once you nourish your soul, that reinforces the idea that happiness can be cultivated without relying on just solely marriage or a relationship, subhanallah. So it's really important for us to prioritize our self-love. We need to establish boundaries and pursue personal growth, and there is a conventional narrative surrounding marriage and self-worth. But what I'm saying here is that when you engage in this self-reflection, we can cultivate a life filled with purpose and fulfillment, and it doesn't matter about your relationship status at all. So let me know if any of these comments or gems resonated with you, what you've learned, and what are you going to do to make sure that there's not that pressure for you to get married. How do you keep self-fulfilled or just fulfilled? Have you seen anyone who has engaged in these desperate behaviors or very unhealthy dynamics just so they can be in it? What's your understanding of the Islamic perspective? So let me know in your comments below what resonated with you, and inshallah what you'd like to hear more of, and then we can speak about that in more depth as well. Jazakallah khair for joining me. I hope my video wasn't too loud or noisy in the background. I am actually in Bahrain airport, but I had a moment before my transit flight and I thought I'd jump in live. Look after yourself. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.